All right, so I'm gonna make this video quick before my son has some sort of fit, okay? So we're gonna talk about pen names, okay? Pen names is something that a lot of authors sometimes struggle with. They're like, hey, you know, like, should I do a pen name? Should I not do a pen name? If I do a pen name, what kind of pen name should I have, right? So there's a lot of questions that go into that. I personally did a pen name because of my job. Okay, so the last thing I needed was, let's just say, people at work finding me and being like, oh my gosh, you write this smut. Oh my gosh, you're fired. So that's really why I did a pen name. If I had not had the job that I had that's so delicate, I wouldn't have done a pen name at all. So, and again, when I decided I need a pen name, I struggle with what is my pen name going to be, okay? So I knew I wanted to keep my last name. I knew that part, right? I got that part. I knew that part. But finding my first name was the hard part. So I initially wanted to use my grandmother's first name, and my grandmother's first name was very old school. It's not used that much anymore. It's pretty much dead with that generation. It's gone. Okay, it's an old school name. If you're wondering what it is, the name was Maggie. So I thought about using that name. And then one night I went out with coworkers, and I guess I had an alter ego that I did not know anything about. And they're like, oh, look, Brittany's here. And I'm like, Brittany? And they're like, yeah, your alter ego. And I'm like, okay, I actually kind of like that. And that's how I got my pen name. I know other people who have used their grandmother's name, their mom's name, their aunt's name. They use just family names, you know, and that's initially what I was going to do. But because of it not sounding right, I was kind of like, well, yeah. When you're choosing a pen name, though, be very careful that there's not already an author out there with it. And what I mean by that is there are some authors that go by pen names, or just any like author name, obviously, and they already have a very large following. You don't want to have the same name as them because that can cause some issues. I haven't heard of authors like suing other authors for it, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. Okay. And you also have certain things where, like, if you think about Goodreads, there could be times where their books could be linked to your author name and it's not you. And that could create a whole other legal problem right there. So the easiest thing to do that I did was to put in the name into Amazon. That's what I did. I put it into Amazon and I searched, is there anybody else with this name? And there was no one else with my first and last name together. There was plenty of authors, the last name Brittany, plenty with last name O'Neill, but none of them had Brittany O'Neill. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I don't have to worry about any problems with that. So that's one way to do it. So yeah, just be very mindful when you're choosing your pen names. And if you have the option of not using your pen name, then don't. But some authors, even when their job doesn't is it not like a possibility of like being fired or whatever, some of them just kind of want the distance where it's like two different lives. And of course, my son's going off. He's learning how to talk loudly. What is it, buddy? Yeah. And he's learning how to stand. So that is my cue. So let me go ahead and sign off. Remember, pen names, double check them.